Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for Metropolis, the original 1927 movie. So yeah, 1927. So yeah, this movie is a German expressionist film, and it's basically considered the godfather of all science fiction movies. Basically, this movie stars Gustav Froelich, Bridget Helm, Alfred Abel, Rudolf Klein Rogge, Heinrich George, Fritz Rasp, Fritz Rasp, Theodor Luce, Erwin Biswanger, and Helen von Monkofen. So yeah, these are German names. So sorry if I butcher any of the names. So yeah. Before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already. Please don't stop the video, go check it out and come back here and watch the rest of this review. The film is actually on YouTube. It's online, free domain, kind of. There's a debate on that on whether this has a copyright or not. Theoretically, if this does have a copyright, it should expire by 2023. Theoretically, but it's kind of there in public domain. It's in a gray area basically. And yeah, I'll leave a link down below for those who want to check out the movie. It's a two and a half hours, and yeah, it's about 95% done basically because most of the footage was lost up until 2008, and it's more or less it's 95% complete. The original movie it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes, but this version they have here is 2 hours and a half, which is the most anybody's been able to find. So down below there's going to be a link for those who want to check out the movie. And yeah, 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. Then I give you fair warnings as usual. I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So basically, it is a German film, so I am gonna. So yeah, I will admit I was a little bit lost at first as to what was going on, um because all the subtitles or whatever, you know how in silent films, because this is a silent film, 1927. You know how in silent films they sometimes have like the subtitle cards or whatever, or the cards with words on it. If you guys know what I mean, they were in German, so obviously I don't speak German, so it was a little bit hard to follow at first. But basically, it's basically one of those rich and poor stories. You have you have the really wealthy people who are wealthy. They don't really give a shit about the poor people whether they die or not, and the poor people are trying to they're trying to survive. And you have this one guy played by Gustav Furlock, and again, hopefully I pronounced that right. Um, he's basically the son of the richest guy in Metropolis and in this town. And his name is Freder, and basically he's the richest guy, and he falls in love with this one woman, who's in the lower class, and he is trying to unite the poor and the rich. At the same time, you have the scientist who has made this robot, really famous robot. It's a really famous robot, and interestingly enough, it actually inspired the look of C-3PO in Star Wars. So that's interesting. So so this scientist creates the robot, and he wants the rich and the poor to stay divided. So basically, he transforms this robot into Freder's girlfriend, basically at the time, because Maria is the main woman in this film. She's the main female lead in this film. She's Freder's love interest, and she at the same time she too is trying to reunite, or she's trying to unite the poor and the rich. But the scientist transforms the robot into Maria, and now the robot Maria is now trying to break away the poor from the rich. The poor kind of realize this, they get pissed off, and they basically try to crucify and burn the robot Maria at the stake, up until they realize, oh wait, that's a robot. Where's the real Maria? And Frater, he's now trying to save the real Maria. He is trying to save Maria from this doctor scientist, and yeah, holy shit. I will admit, Okay, there is a version with English subtitles or whatever. However, when it comes to foreign films, I like it to be in its natural language, whether it be German, Spanish, French, Indian, Japanese, Chinese, whatever. I like to see it in its original language. If there's subtitles, great. But I like to watch it in the original language, with what the people are saying, or if there's subtitles, like in this case, since it is a silent film, if the subtitles are in German, I want to watch it in German, because I feel it's more authentic in that sense. Okay, I do feel like it's a bit more authentic. So yeah, I prefer being a little bit lost and still having that authenticity than having an English version and not being lost, but then losing a bit of that authenticity. So I do prefer that. Plus, more of a visual guy, more or less understand what could be going on as the film progresses, and it's a really good story. I mean, I will admit I was lost at points a bit, and so I did go on Wikipedia afterwards and search up the full plot to make sure, to more or less make sure I got everything I was supposed to get. And there were a few things I kind of missed every here and there because of the fact that it is German. But I'm not gonna fault that on the film. I'm gonna fault that on myself because I don't know German. So that it's still pretty good. Okay. Now there were now also since the film is 95% complete, there are a few cuts that you can see. You can more or less tell. This scene kind of jumped off to another scene. And it doesn't really make sense. And again, that one's more at the fault of time passing because again, this film had most of the film was lost up until 2008, and then they had to restore it and everything. So there are going to be a few chunks every here and there that are missing, about 15 minutes to be exact. Because again, the film is about 2 hours 45 minutes, and right now we have 2 hours and a half. So yeah, but overall, it's still a pretty good film. I do see as to why many people consider this one of the best science fiction films out there. However, there is a bit of a religious undertone, which is kind of funny. I see why people call this a great science fiction film. However, I see this more as a religious film, and to some degree, I feel like the sci-fi aspect of the film, I feel like it kind of takes back. It's kind of takes a backseat after a while, and I feel like there's more of a religious aspect to the film. Like the sci-fi aspect of the film is still there, but I feel like there's more of a religious aspect than a sci-fi aspect to it, especially towards the end when the robot Maria is at the cross getting burned at the stake. Joan of Arc, Jesus style. I feel like it takes kind of more of a backseat and it becomes a bit of a religious film. So not sure if that was the intent of the filmmaker Fritz Lang or not. So yeah, I mean overall it's still a pretty good film, really well acted in my opinion, really well written. For silent films, the writing. When it comes to silent films, and you're discussing the writing, you have to, when it comes to writing and silent films, what I consider the writing is, first off, the subtitle cards, and again, I don't read in German, so I could just throw that out the window. But what I mean by writing is like just a logical progression, like process of events, like the direction in the film. And I thought that was actually really well done in my opinion. Again, a bit confused at times. Part of it for not knowing German myself, or part of it because of the restoration process, and most of the film, and small chunks of the film still missing. But overall, it's still a really great film. The romance aspect between the main the between the two leads, Freder and Maria, are actually really well done. And I also did like kind of that double identity aspect with the Maria and the robot Maria. People are accusing who's who and what's going on afterwards. So yeah, there is a very interesting fun fact that I found about this film, and apparently, this is both Hitler and Goebbels. And if you don't know who Hitler and Goebbels are, most people know who Hitler is, Adolf Hitler. But Goebbels, he was basically Hitler's second in command in Italy, and basically they considered this one of their favorite films of all time. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're watching this movie. Hitler and Goebbels, two of the biggest catalysts for World War II, consider this one of their favorite films of all time. Yeah, even to the extent that they considered Fritz Lang, because Fritz Lang was a Jew, they considered him an honorary Aryan. So yeah, that means he wasn't. Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I do have to say. Hitler for being the guy, the thing that he is, killing over what is it, like over 70,000 Jews or whatever, something like that, for killing almost 1 million people or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers. It's good to know that he had good taste in cinema. Yeah. Okay, let me just get off that topic very fast. Yeah, overall, really great film. I do have a few problems with it. A few problems. Most of them are just personal, me not knowing German, or part of the restoration process. Because parts of the film are missing. So, I do have my own problems with it, but I think if I do have one major issue with the film, like in general, just for the film itself, not me personally, but just for the film itself, I feel like this film is more of a religious film than a sci-fi film. Like, there's sci-fi elements, but I feel like it's a bit more of a religious romantic film, not really a sci-fi film. Again, I do like what it did for cinema as a whole, really do enjoy it, but I feel like it's more of a religious romantic film, not a sci-fi epic film. I mean, it is an epic, and don't get me wrong, it is an epic film. But I feel like it's more of a religious film than a sci-fi film. The sci-fi aspect of it is definitely still there. But I just feel like, many people do also do consider this a bit of a religious film. But I think of this as more of a religious film than a sci-fi film. That I do have to consider that as a main, not a main problem, but it's a small issue for the film itself. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. Still a fantastic film. Definitely do check it out. And yeah, even if you don't like, there's people who don't like this film, and to some extent, I understand as to why you don't like this film. But regardless if you like it or not, this is still one of those films that I think any person who loves cinema, who enjoys watching movies, should watch regardless, because of just of the type of film it is. So yeah, that's basically it for now. 9 out of 10 is what I'd give Metropolis. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Comment all that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.